10th class, welcome back. Today I'll go with chemistry session. I have already covered with the 3 chapters, that is electricity, light processes and chemical equation. Second chapter of your book, that is acid, bases and salt, which we are going to start with. Let's start. First, I'll explain you about the physical properties of an acid. Then in the next session, I'll go with chemical properties. Today, I'll discuss indicators also. What actually the meaning of indicators? What is the meaning of indicator? Clear? Now, first, acid. Acid, it is a Latin word, means acidus, means sour in taste. So, whenever I'm talking about acid, it is always sour in taste. Like, for example, if I say citric foods, all the citrus food that is containing citric acid in it, which is sour in taste. In Chinese dishes, we use the vinegar, which is again sour in taste, that is acetic acid is there. Tamarind, which contains tartaric acid. Clear? In Hindi, you call imli. That is tamarind, tartaric acid. So many types of acids are there which are all edible acids. Some of the acids which are chemical, like hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, these can't be tasted. Then how can we detect whether it is an acid or base? Because edible acids we can taste it and then feel it. But some of the chemical substance we can't taste it. It will affect us. So for that, what we will do? Second point is litmus paper. I'll discuss in indicators that what actually the litmus is. It is in the paper form or in the solution form. Clear? Now, acid. Acid turns blue litmus to red in color. This is again the common property, physical property, that acid turns blue litmus to red. Now, blue, A, B, C, D, acid. And you can recall the next alphabet is blue. So, acid turns blue to red. Clear, student? Now, the third property, litmus I'll discuss later. Now, third property, acid when dissolved in aqueous solution. When dissolved in aqueous solution, it changes to, it gives or it releases H positive ions. H positive, very, very important. I'll discuss right now what is actually the H positive ions. Clear? And then, if I'm talking about bases, the general properties I'm talking about, if I'm talking about in bases, bases are bitter in taste. Bitter, like you have tasted neem leaves, that is bitter in taste. Soapy in touch, if you touch it, it is slippery, that is soapy in touch. These are all characteristic of base. And about litmus, it changes red litmus paper to blue in color. Clear? Now let's start. And when it is dissolving in water, forming an aqueous solution, it releases OH ions. Simply, if it is H positive releasing, it is an acid. If it is releasing OH ions, then it is base. Just simply you can identify, there is a question in your board, 1 mark, NaOH and HCl, which is acid and base. HCl, H positive is there. So, H positive, that is an acid. And whenever the OH group is there, OH hydroxide, that means we will call it as base. Now come, let's start with. Now, suppose if I'm saying, first I'm talking about acid, student. Acid, there are so many acids. This is an acid which is hydrochloric acid. When it is dissolved in water, it forms aqueous solution. This is called aqueous solution dissolved in water. And now when it's still dissolved in water, it forms an aqueous solution. Clear, student? Now, if we are dissociating, what is the meaning of dissociation? Breaks down. It will break down into H positive plus Cl negative. Breaks down. Aqueous solution, in that when we pass current, that is not in your syllabus, but whenever we pass current, then only the dissociation will take place. So, it will dissociate to form H positive plus Cl negative. Number 2 example, if I say H2SO4. So, how many hydrogen? 2 hydrogen plus water, that is we are making aqueous solution. So, 2 hydrogen positive plus SO4 negative. That means C, H positive. If I say third, HNO3 plus water, that is again we are making aqueous solution. So H positive plus NO3 negative. Yes, student. So these are all what means breaking down into H positive and negative ions. So whenever any substance is considered to be an acid when it is releasing H positive ions. Like fourth, if I say H3PO4, this is phosphoric acid, PO4. So plus water aqueous solution, it releases how many hydrogen? 3 hydrogen. 3 hydrogen plus PO4 negative, 3 negative, NO3 negative, 2 negative. These are all ions which forms positive and negative, and whenever positive, that means hydrogen should be there. If we say K positive, Na negative, Na positive, sodium, magnesium positive, it is not an acid. Whenever it is releasing H positive, then we will call it as an acid. Positive means proton, it is releasing proton. Clear? Hydrogen proton, that is H positive. So this is an example of and very important. What is the meaning of strong acid and weak acid? Strong acid and weak acid. Suppose next example, if I say CH3COOH, so H positive. So H positive plus CH3, this is acetic acid. Acetic acid. Right? So these are the examples of an acid. Now there are strong acid and weak acid. Strong acid which dissociates the hydrogen ion faster and complete dissociation takes place. Whenever it is breaking, all the hydrogens are releasing from the solution. Then it is known as strong acid. So these three, HCl, yes, HCl. These three are very strong acid. HCl, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. These are strong acids which dissociates the hydrogen ion completely and faster. Weak acid, not complete, and slowly it will dissociate into hydrogen ions, and no less hydrogen ions are released from it. That is phosphoric acid, acetic acid, so many other acids are also there. Those are weak acids. Yes, student? Clear? Now come next, bases. Bases, when we are talking about, it will release OH negative ions. OH. Now suppose if I say first K plus water. So potassium solution we have to make plus water. We are making aqueous solution of base, student. This is aqueous solution. When we are dissolving in water, it will release OH positive negative. That is, just wait. K positive plus OH negative ions. Clear? Next, if I say NaOH. NaOH plus solution we will take, that is water solution. So it will release Na positive plus OH negative. Next is MgOH whole twice. MgOH whole twice plus water solution. We are making aqueous solution. Dissolving in water will form aqueous solution. So it will release Mg2 positive ions plus OH2 negative ions. Right? Next, if I say fourth, CaOH whole twice plus water, that is making aqueous solution, it will form Ca2 positive plus OH2 negative. And fifth, if I say ammonium hydroxide plus water we make solution, we will find NH4, that is ammonium ion, which is 1 positive plus OH negative ions. See, student, in these reactions when it is dissociating, it is forming OH ions. That means these are all bases. These are all bases. So bases always releases OH ions in aqueous solution. Yes, and again I am telling here also that there are strong bases and weak bases. Strong bases which releases or dissociate OH ions faster, like KOH, NaOH, MgOH. These are all strong bases. And weak base, that means slow down. Means OH ions, it dissociates slowly and not so completely. Then we will call it as the weak base. Right, student? Next is very important thing which I discuss in metal, non-metal also. See, all these are metals. So that means metals are basic in nature. Metals always form bases. Yes, student, metal. Whenever the metal is there in the compound, that means it is basic in nature. Basic in nature, and the OH though it will be there, but metals are also there with it, because metals have the property to form bases. What is indicator? Indicators, these are those substances which helps us to identify whether it is an acid or base. Not always we are going to taste it and to find whether it is a sour or bitter. Other substances, chemical substances are there which can't be tasted. Already I told you just now, just before. So here indicators are there, that means to identify whether it is an acid or base. Yes, now there are, so what are indicators? These are the substances to identify acid or base. Yes, students? Now come. Indicators are of three types. Indicators: natural indicator, olfactory indicator, artificial indicator. Now one by one I'll go with. Natural indicator, first we are going to start with litmus. What actually the litmus means? From previous classes you only know about the litmus, and litmus is the only there to test the acid and base. No. So many indicators are there. It is a type of indicator which is a natural indicator. Now from where the litmus is traced? Now litmus, it is extracted from the what plant? That is lichen. Belongs to kingdom Thallophyta. Last year in diversity you must have studied what is Thallophyta. So lichen, which is the symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. Am I right, student? So litmus is extracted. It is a dye which is extracted from lichens. Belongs to what kingdom? Thallophyta. It is a purple color dye. From this purple dye, what we do? By processing, we make two colored litmus paper or solution. That is, one is blue litmus paper, another is red litmus paper. Now clear, student, what actually the litmus is? Now what happens in litmus? Suppose if I am taking any acidic solution, and if we put acidic solution, I told you in acid it changes to blue to red. So if you take blue color litmus paper and you dip it in acid, what happens? Automatically the color will changes to red, blue to red. That means it traces that the solution is acidic. In base, if I put in any soapy solution or any base, and if I put the blue litmus, red litmus in it, then red will turn into bluish in color. A, B, C, D, nothing to confuse. Acid, A, B, C, D, blue to red. So automatically base, red to blue. Clear? So these are, and litmus is in the form of solution form also, and also in the form of paper strips. In laboratory, mostly we use the paper strips of litmus paper. One strip is of blue color, another strip is of red color. Clear, student? Litmus. Next is turmeric. See, first is litmus, second is turmeric. Now turmeric is acidic in nature. You all know we use turmeric in our cooking. That means turmeric is acid in nature, so it will kill bacteria in our body. Clear? And so many, it helps it to fight with the infection. So itself it is turmeric, but when we put some turmeric you know, haldi. So turmeric, if we put it in some soap solution or any basic solution, it changes to red color, yellow to red color. Clear, student? Turmeric, no change in acid, it will remain yellow only, but when we are putting it in a basic solution, then it will be convert into red color. Now very important 2-mark question, high order thinking in exam. A boy was having his lunch. All of a sudden the curry dropped on his white shirt. When his mother washed that with soap solution, soap, then what happens? That area becomes reddish in color. Why? Yes, student. Why? Because the boy was having his lunch and in that curry the turmeric is there. And that turmeric, when his mother was rubbing it with any soap or soap solution, then it is reacting with what? The base it is combining with. And it converts to reddish in color. Even in painting also, we want to have red color, then you can use the turmeric solution. And what you will do? Turmeric solution, you paint it first, let it dry, and then you can use any soap solution with a brush for the petals and all, and that area will become reddish in color and you can make beautiful designs and all. So these are all applications. So turmeric, which is very, very important for the natural indicator. Now next is third, that is, so petals are there. You know the meaning of petals, that is flowers. They are having petals, colorful petals. Cabbage, one red cabbage, it is again what? Natural indicator. Petals of flowers like hibiscus, petunia, geranium, hydrangea, these are all giving changes to acid and base. The color is not there in your book, so I'm not discussing here, but they all change the color. Clear? So these are all what? Indicators, that is natural indicator. I think last year in board it came, name any two flowers which is a natural indicator. That is petunia, geranium, hibiscus, hydrangea. So many examples are there. Right? Now next come olfactory. Now what do you understand by the term olfactory? That is sense of smell. Smell change. That means there is something is there which changes the smell of acid and base. Let's see. Now olfactory indicator, we will take clove, onion, garlic is there, and vanilla. When we drop acid in it, it will not show any change. It will retain its own smell. They have characteristic smell, that is clove, onion, all you know they are having what? Clove, that is long. They are all having their own characteristic smell. Vanilla, which is there in the ice creams and all, and pastries and all, and garlic used in the cooking method. Now acid, they will retain their own what? Taste, own smell. They will not show any change. But when we drop base in it, what happens? The smell, the characteristic smell which they are showing will vanish. Will vanish. So in acid they will not show any change. They will retain their smell, and in base what is there? The smell will vanish away. This is known as olfactory indicators. Yes, student. Now last one, which is synthetic or artificial indicator, that is man-made or made in the laboratories. Right? Now next, artificial are of two types, methyl orange and phenolphthalein. L is silent, student. So L silent, so phenolphthalein, that is the, we'll spell like this. Next is methyl orange. When we drop acid in it, it will be red in color. Itself it is orangish in color, but when we are dropping acid, it changes to red color, and when in base, it shows yellow color. See, colors are very important. You note it down from here. See, student, why I am writing in the book, in board, because when you are listening to me, you can also jot down these points so that your notes will also get ready. Yes, student, this is the main motto, to write it on the board. So if you are writing it, you are ready with your what? Notes and the explanation which I am giving you. Yes, student? Come. So acid red, and in base it is yellowish in color. Next come phenolphthalein. In acid and itself it is colorless solution. When we drop base in it, it converts to what? Pink color. Pink color, phenolphthalein. Clear, student? So these are all very, very important indicators. That is natural indicator, artificial indicator, and synthetic or what? Olfactory indicator, synthetic or artificial indicators. Clear, student? I hope you understood about all these. Keep learning for your board and all. And very, very important, student, if you are liking my video or any comment you want to write, something is missing, if it is there, please write it in the comment section. I always keep checking my comment section whether you are getting it or not. Right? So very, very important. And like, share and subscribe. And the very important thing I want to tell you, please viral my teaching videos to those students, those who are not able to, what, some reason they are not able to join the coaching or any online classes, maybe some financial or any other problem during lockdown. Clear? So please, that will really give me moral support. Yes, student. Thank you so much, 10th class. Thank you.